Welcome to Rome, the Eternal City. In this video, we'll take you on an unforgettable journey through Rome's most iconic landmarks, uncover hidden gems, and share essential travel tips to make your visit perfect. Our first stop is the Colosseum, Rome's iconic amphitheater. Built in 80 AD, it's a marvel of ancient engineering and a symbol of the city's imperial past. The Colosseum was officially opened in 80, and the celebrations on this occasion lasted for 100 days. At its peak, the facility held 87,000 people. Many people and animals were killed here during the bloody gladiatorial battles. With one ticket you visit the Colosseum, the Roman Forum and the Palatine Hill. Regarding the price of the ticket, opening hours and possible tours, see the official site for tickets. I leave the link in the description. As I said, the Colosseum ticket is also valid for the Roman Forum. For the Roman Forum, if a lot of people gather at the main entrance, you can walk around it a bit, as there are two other entrances. You will easily find them and save yourself waiting. Now let's move on to the description and take a trip back in time. The real name of the Colosseum is Amphitheater Flavius, from the dynasty of the emperor, who requested its construction, while the Colosseum comes from the colossal bronze statue of Nero, which, however, has not been preserved. The Colosseum was built near the Roman Forum between 70 and 72 AD, and was used for about 500 years. Although its structure suffered serious damage, mostly due to earthquakes, the Colosseum has always been considered the greatest symbol of the Roman Empire, as well as the best preserved example of Roman architecture. In 1990, it was included in the UNESCO World Heritage List. Also, on July 7, 2007, the Colosseum was recognized as one of the new 7 wonders of the modern world, which was voted by 90 million people. The ground on which the games were held, called the Hypogeum, was a wooden platform covered with sand. Beneath it was a complex system of tunnels and rooms where the gladiators, convicts and animals lived. An elaborate system of drains was also discovered, and is thought to have been intended for ship shows, but the idea was rejected by Emperor Domitian. The placement of the steps is interesting. They are made so that each floor is intended for the individual social classes. The podium was intended for senators, judges and priests, and in the best places was the tribune for the emperor. The first balcony was reserved for aristocrats, who did not belong to the Senate. The second, divided for rich citizens and common for the poor. At the top were the humblest places, made of wood and without seats, probably for women of poorer classes. Access to the stairs was through a special entrance, thanks to which a huge amount of people could enter in a negative time. It was so well designed that 50,000 people could be evacuated in less than 5 minutes. What was the Colosseum used for? As everyone knows, the Colosseum was used for gladiatorial fights, but not only. In reality, the events on offer were more like animal hunts, mostly using animals from Africa, but also executions, where the condemned to death was killed as a historical hero. There were also fights between animals, acrobatic shows and reenactments of great battles. Gladiators were mostly slaves or prisoners who were trained to fight with cruelty and courage to regain their freedom. Today, the Colosseum is the biggest tourist attraction in Rome, and the tourists who enter the arena every year are millions. Inside, on the upper floor, there is a museum dedicated to the Greek god Eros, where other different and interesting exhibitions are temporarily on display. Just a short walk away is the Roman Forum, the heart of ancient Rome. Here, you can stroll through ruins that were once bustling with public life. The Roman Forum is perhaps the most important archaeological site in Rome. This area, has been inhabited since the Iron Age and became the center of urban life from the end of the 7th century before Christ. Its development can be traced by walking along the Via Sacra, Sacred Street, which crosses the Forum lengthwise, in the alternation of basilicas, temples and triumphal arches that are evidence of Rome's majestic history. The Roman Forum was for centuries the center of political, religious and economic activity in ancient Rome. Called the Forum Magnum, or simply the Forum, it is located in the valley between the Palatine and Capitoline Hills. This place was originally used as a necropolis, after which it became the background of the Battle of Lake Curzio, in the struggle between Romans and Sabines, which has come down to us thanks to the writings of Titus Livius, one of the most famous Roman historians. Trajan's column was erected in 113 at the Forum of Trajan in Rome, in a narrow courtyard behind the Basilica of Ulpia, to commemorate the victories of Emperor Trajan over the Dacians. The reliefs, whose length is 200 meters, depict the military actions of the Roman army in Dacia. War scenes and battles, marching armies, fortifications, the emperor giving speeches to the soldiers, sacrifices, embassies and subjugation of the vanquished are depicted. Trajan's remains were laid in its foundations. It is decorated with a spiral bas-relief in 24 circles, which depicts the episodes of Emperor Trajan's war with the Dacians, which is very valuable for military archaeology. A statue of Trajan was placed at the top of the column, replaced in 1588 with a statue of Saint Peter, which still stands today. A total of 2,662 figures and 155 scenes are depicted, and Trajan is depicted in 58 places. Next, we visit the Pantheon, a former Roman temple turned church. Its stunning dome and oculus are architectural wonders that continue to inspire awe. The Pantheon in Rome, originally built as a temple for all Roman gods, and completed by Emperor Hadrian around 126 AD, is a marvel of ancient architecture renowned for its massive, unreinforced concrete dome and central oculus, which illuminates the interior. This former pagan temple, converted into a Christian church in the 7th century, features a stunning interior adorned with marble floors, walls, and columns. It also houses the tombs of notable figures, such as the artist Raphael, and Italian kings Vittorio Emanuele II and Umberto I. Located in Piazza della Rotonda, the Pantheon remains a testament to Rome's architectural ingenuity and historical grandeur. The opening hours of the Pantheon are from 8:30 to 19:30, and on Sundays from 9 to 6 p.m. No trip to Rome is complete without tossing a coin into the Trevi Fountain. Legend says it ensures your return to the Eternal City. The famous Rococo fountain was started by Nicola Solvi, who won the competition organized by Pope Clement XII in 1732, and completed by Giuseppe Panini in 1762. The fountain depicts Oceanus on a scallop-shaped chariot pulled by seahorses led by Tritons. Anita Ekberg made the fountain famous in her film La Dolce Vita. Funny, but it looks bigger in person. Note that bathing in the fountain is prohibited. Climb the Spanish Steps for a fantastic view of Rome's historic center. It's a perfect spot for people watching and soaking in the city's vibrant atmosphere. The Spanish Steps, a monumental stairway of 135 steps in Rome, were constructed between 1723 and 1725, designed by the Italian architect Francesco de Sanctis. This iconic landmark connects Piazza di Spagna at the base with the Trinità dei Monti Church at the top, offering stunning views of the city. Named after the Spanish embassy to the Holy See located nearby, the steps are a popular meeting spot and a vibrant hub of activity, surrounded by elegant shops, cafes, and historic buildings. At the foot of the steps lies the Boccaccia fountain, crafted by Pietro Bernini and his son John Lorenzo Bernini, adding to the charm and allure of this bustling Roman attraction. Don't miss Vatican City, the world's smallest independent state. Visit St. Peter's Basilica and the Vatican Museums, home to the Sistine Chapel and its breathtaking ceiling by Michelangelo. St. Peter's Basilica is the largest, richest and most lavish church in Italy. Don't forget to dress appropriately, no short skirts and pants and revealing tank tops. Opening hours: 7 to 7 p.m., October to March from 7 to 6 p.m. Free entry, but you'll have to wait in lines regardless. Do not miss the Vatican Museums, 11 in total, as well as the Sistine Chapel with the legendary creations of Michelangelo and the Vatican Gardens. We recommend that you take a guidebook or an audio guide. The Vatican Museums, established by Pope Julius II in the early 16th century, are a series of art and Christian museums situated within Vatican City. Housing one of the most extensive and significant art collections in the world, the museums showcase works from the vast collection amassed by the Roman Catholic Church over centuries, including masterpieces from the Renaissance, such as Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel ceiling and Raphael's rooms. Visitors can explore an array of galleries, including the Gallery of Maps, the Gallery of Tapestries, and the Pio Clementine Museum, which features classical sculptures. With over 70,000 works of art on display, the Vatican Museums offer an unparalleled journey through art, history, and culture. The Sistine Chapel, located within the Vatican Museums in Vatican City, is one of the most renowned chapels in the world, celebrated for its extraordinary Renaissance art. Constructed between 1475 and 1481 under Pope Sixtus IV, after whom it is named, the chapel is famed for its magnificent ceiling frescoes painted by Michelangelo between 1508 and 1512, which include the iconic creation of Adam. Michelangelo also painted the Last Judgment on the altar wall from 1536 to 1541. The chapel serves as the site of the papal conclave, where new popes are elected, and it continues to attract millions of visitors annually, who come to marvel at its artistic splendor and profound historical significance. Piazza Navona is a beautiful square featuring Baroque architecture, fountains, and street artists. It's a great place to relax and enjoy the local vibe. According to some, it is the most beautiful square in the whole world because of its statues and fountains, such as Lorenzo Bernini's Fountain of the Four Rivers. Another remarkable area, this is Piazza Venezia. Piazza Venezia is located at the foot of the Capitoline Hill and is next to the Forum of Trajan. It owes its name to the Palace of Venice. The building of the Palace of Venice was commissioned by Pietro Barbo, who later became Pope Paul II. The construction of the palace began in 1455. Then the Palace of Venice served as the embassy of the Republic of Venice, and was used by the Austrian ambassador. Today it houses a museum of medieval and Renaissance art. Near the Palazzo Venezia is the Basilica of San Marco, one of the oldest basilicas in Rome. Next to Piazza Venezia is the Vittoriano. The monument, created in 1885 in honor of the unification of Italy, is today dedicated to the unknown warrior. Take the glass elevator to the side to the top. The panorama is magnificent, seeing the whole city. The Capitol is another landmark, and is one of the 7 hills of Rome. It is located in the center of the city, west of the Forum. The architectural complex of the Capitol, designed in the Renaissance by Michelangelo on the order of Pope Paul III, is amazing. Capitol Square is surrounded by 3 magnificent palaces. These are the Palace of the Conservatives, the New Palace, and in depth the Palace of the Senators. Here we can also enjoy the 2 ancient Egyptian marble lions. The majestic statues of Dioscorus, Castor and Polydeuces, as well as the emperors Constantine and Constantine II, are also admirable. In the center of the square rises the famous equestrian statue of Marcus Aurelius. In the 2 buildings that house the Capitoline museums, you can see paintings by famous artists, antique sculptures, porcelain, coins, old clothes, a she-wolf statue and much more. The wide staircase La Coordinata, which leads to the foot of the hill, is decorated with various statues. At the top are those of the twins Castor and Pollux, sons of the god Jupiter. Our next stop is Rome's famous park, Villa Borghese. Villa Borghese, Rome's 3rd largest public park, is a sprawling landscape that offers a tranquil retreat from the bustling city. Originally a vineyard, it was transformed into a landscaped garden by Cardinal Scipione Borghese in the 17th century. The park is home to the Borghese Gallery, which houses a stunning collection of Renaissance and Baroque art, including works by Bernini, Caravaggio, and Raphael. In addition to its art treasures, Villa Borghese features beautifully manicured gardens, fountains, lakes, and various architectural gems, such as the Temple of Aesculapius. It's a perfect spot for leisurely strolls, picnics, and cultural exploration, making it a beloved destination for both locals and tourists. Have you heard of the Mouth of Truth? La Bocca della Verità, or the Mouth of Truth, is a famous marble bas-relief with the face of a man. It is located at the gate of the Church of Santa Maria in Cosmedin. The sculpture is believed to have been part of an ancient Roman fountain, or to have depicted one of the pagan gods. What this sculpture is best known for is that it plays the role of a lie detector. Since the Middle Ages, it has been believed that if someone puts their hand in the hole and tells a lie, their hand will be cut off. This detail was placed on the portico of Santa Maria in Cosmedin in the 17th century. And do you know where the skull of Saint Valentine is located in Rome? The skull of Saint Valentine is located in the same Basilica of Santa Maria in Cosmedin, the church to whose entrance the long lines of tourists who want to take pictures with the Bocca della Verità. Many pose for a photo in front of the ancient stone figure and leave, unaware that they were meters away from the remains of Saint Valentine. The skull is located in the temple, to the left immediately after entering. Entrance to the basilica is free. You cannot visit Rome without visiting the Castle of Sant'Angelo, or Castello di Sant'Angelo. The price of a ticket is €10.50 for persons between 18 and 25 years old. For citizens of the European Union the price is €9.50, and it is free for minors. Opening hours to visit the castle are Tuesday to Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., closed on Mondays. There is an interesting story behind the name of Castel Sant'Angelo. In 590 there was a terrible plague. According to legend, Pope Gregory saw an angel, the Archangel Michael, at the top of the castle, putting a sword into his vestry, which heralded the end of the plague. And so it happened. That's why the castle was named so, and now there is a statue of the Archangel Michael on top of it. The castle was built at the request of Emperor Hadrian in 139 as a mausoleum for his sons. It looked quite different than it does now, as many of the statues were destroyed during the wars. It was turned into a castle in 1277, becoming the property of the Vatican, and the castle became the papal residence. The castle was then turned into a fortress for the popes, who in case of danger, could hide in it after passing through a secret underground passage connecting the Vatican with the fortress. The castle is also mentioned in Dan Brown's novel The Sixth Mark. The castle is located very close to the Vatican, so you can combine it with a visit to the Basilica. Right behind the castle there is also a nice park where you can rest. Art lovers should definitely visit the Villa Farnesina. The villa was built in 1506 to 1510 for the Sienese banker Agostino Chigi, according to a project by Baldassare Peruzzi. It was the first villa in Rome of the light, pavilion type, open to garden and river, without courtyards and audience rooms. The frescoes in the loggia are the work of Raphael, Giulio Romano, Sebastiano del Piombo and Sodoma. Rome's culinary scene is a feast for the senses. Try classic dishes like carbonara, cacio e pepe, and Roman-style pizza. For dessert, don't miss out on gelato from one of the many artisanal shops. Explore local markets like Campo de' Fiori for fresh produce, meats, and cheeses. It's a great way to experience Rome's food culture up close. When it comes to accommodation, Rome offers a range of options from luxurious hotels to cozy bed and breakfasts, and budget-friendly hostels. For a truly immersive experience, consider staying in a local neighborhood like Trastevere. For a comprehensive tour of Rome, we recommend staying for at least 4 to 5 nights. This allows enough time to explore the main attractions, savor the local cuisine, and even take a day trip to nearby sites like Tivoli or Ostia Antica. Thank you for joining us on this virtual tour of Rome. We hope this guide helps you make the most of your visit to the Eternal City. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more travel guides. Arrivederci.